Waffles for the win always. You know who's waking up happy this morning? Michigan fans. Look at this. #1 quarterback prospect in the class of 2025, Bryce Underwood, flipping his commitment from LSU to the Wolverines last night. He grew up 30 minutes from the big house, made the announcement with a video on social media captioned simply as hometown hero. The 6'4", 210-pound pivot had committed to LSU back in January, but now becomes a likely day one starter in Ann Arbor. With his signing on December 4th, Underwood will be the first #1 recruit to join Michigan since the program inked defensive tackle Rashawn Gary in 2016. He would also join Gary and defensive backs Jabril Peppers and Dax Hill as the only five-star prospects to land in Ann Arbor since 2006. He will mark the Wolverines' highest-ranked quarterback pledge since Michigan landed Ryan Mallett in the class of 2007. Let's welcome in our Michigan insider, Sam Webb from 24/7 Sports. Sam, we knew that Michigan was hard at work on this over the past couple of months, but 24/7 recruiting analyst Tom Loy said, look, this decision was not about the money because he was going to get it no matter where he went. In your opinion, what was it that ultimately crystallized this flip for Underwood?
Yeah, I think it had been in the works for longer than the last couple of months. I think Michigan got started on this going back to the spring, and I think that Michigan, it's collective, and you got to give Champion Circle, Michigan's primary collective, you got to give them a lot of credit because I think it was their job to make money not be an issue, and I don't think it's the case that he was necessarily gonna get the money no matter where he went. I think that's a mischaracterization of things. I think they raised enough money to make money not be an issue, to take that off the table, to make it be the other things be the deciding factor. So what did it wind up being? If you remove money from the table, now what is it, Bryce? And I think ultimately, Jeremy, it's all right, I got a chance to be legendary. I got a chance to make a legacy play. And I think, Bryce Underwood is good enough to go and be special, to go and be a great player anywhere. And, LSU has had their share of great quarterbacks. I mean, you just seen Jaden Daniels go be great and Joe Burrow be great. But it's different when you do it at home. And I think that really resonated with Bryce. I've watched this kid and known him since he was an 8th grader going into the 9th grade, and he's been a special player at Belleville, and did it in front of his home crowd and his family, and to be able to do that at Michigan, and to be the hometown guy and to build Michigan back up and be a championship guy, and to be the first guy, homegrown guy, to do it at Michigan, in Michigan. I think that's special. That's a legacy play, to be the legendary guy at Michigan, in Michigan, to do it. I think that's different. That resonates. A chance to be legendary at Michigan, in Michigan. I think that was the difference.
It's estimated that a roster that can compete for a national championship could cost a school between $15 and $18 million a year. It's rumored that Underwood is likely going to get upwards of $10 million to join the Maize and Blue. So it now begs the question, Sam, how much is left over for the rest of this roster as Sharon Moore looks to rebuild here?
So, I really don't know as far as I think they'll have enough. Again, I'll go back to the Champion Circle, their primary collective. And I think when you look at what Michigan has done, the people around, the donor base, the support base around Michigan, the commitment to making sure Michigan is going to be competitive, I think there's an understanding after watching them win a national championship and ultimately seeing them fall back in this 5-win season. We'll see what their win-loss record ultimately is. Seeing what it's going to take to compete, it's like, okay, they're going to have to go spend. They're going to spend on the recruiting class. They're going to have to spend in the portal. So you say, what's going to be left over? Enough. That's what's going to be left over. Enough to go back and compete again. I think they know they're going to have to go spend in the portal to get back to a championship level. So they're going to spend what it takes in the portal and spend what it takes in the recruiting class to get back. And Bryce Underwood is already on the phones going after guys like Derek Meadows, for instance, going after guys like Nathaniel Usu-Boateng, for instance, going after guys who maybe Michigan just lost out on recently that you think are off the board, Grayson Littleton, to try to get them back in the fold for Michigan to see if, hey, you want to come play with me? Maybe those guys will come back into the fold for Michigan to see if they want to get Michigan back to a championship level.
Certainly gives them a little bit of added recruiting juice. Our Michigan insider Sam Webb discussing number 1 quarterback prospect Bryce Underwood flipping his commitment from LSU to Michigan. A massive get for the Wolverines. Thanks, Sam. Good to see you. And Sharon Moore, of course, was very happy about it. He tweeted, "Yes, sir. Best players in Michigan. They go to Michigan." All right. Certainly do. Maize and Blue, happy with this one. And for more on the Underwood flip, be sure to check out the story over on 24/7 Sports. And while you're there, check out the recruit rankings, class rankings, and all the latest news as we head towards signing day coming up on December the 4th.